Okay, so I basically went over all of MSS, ran through all my notes, GLS's, Luca's notes. I've come to a couple quick conclusions. Um, MSS actually is pretty, I don't know how to word it, but it's pretty easy, which is gonna sound really weird because there's a lot of depth to the subject, but there's not really any like concepts per se. It's more so about what is this structure, what does this structure do, what does another structure do. Is like so like even for here, right? Like what are the different lobes? What does the parietal lobe do? Conscious awareness. Like what does the post central gyrus do? What does the pre central gyrus do? What do like type 3 muscle fibers do? What are slow oxidative muscle fibers? Can you label the different like nerves here and stuff? So I think in terms of me providing value, I want to provide value. I don't want to recreate a resource. Luca's notes are already great for MSS. They're near perfect. There are a couple things that like probably go into more detail than what is needed. But again, if you're HDing it, you need that detail. So it is valid. I think in terms of providing value, what I'll do is I'll go through the weeks. I'll write some questions of my own, not inspired by any previous questions, as to like, if you can answer these questions, you can probably do well. So like maybe a question I'll ask is, um, uh, label the myelin sheath, or what is the purpose of the somatic motor nervous system, or what does the parietal lobe do, or can you describe the ectoderm and mesoderm, things like that, because that way you can kind of provide as a very preliminary checklist as to the major topics of the week. But I won't be asking any anatomy questions. So like things like this, you should know. Things like this actually are very high yield, right? Because it's all about describing what something is, what function it is doing, and what would happen if it goes bad or doesn't work. What would be the outcome of that? That's really all you need to think about. And in that sense, it's not bad. I think the main struggle with MSS is that it's just so much. So if you look at week 8, this is essentially all of week 8, all condensed down in a couple 2 3 hour lectures. So it's a lot of content, but it's not hard content. If you see, like most of the stuff is just labeling. What are the boundaries of the anatomical stuff box? Technically, this is an explain question. Remember, explain questions are more high yield because they show understanding and show depth. And this question would be very good because it shows that you understand the general anatomy. But there's no real concept here to understand, right? You're kind of just understanding where the tendons run through, and this is quite yield as well. But it's not like it's not like an EH question where you have to like mix all different weeks together to come up to some conclusion. No, it's just what are the tendons, and as such, what's making up that boundary? What are the veins? What are the anterior muscles? Maybe like which um, which anterior muscle compartment is supplied by the ulnar nerve? Like that could be an interesting question, right? So I'll go through and I'll make those type of questions because I want to provide value and I don't want to just recreate resources, right? Because at the end of the day, it's no different than the lecture or Luca's notes, and I don't want to do that. I want to like add something new.